The Princess and the Pea. Once upon a time, in a kingdom where golden spires touched the clouds and gardens bloomed year-round, there lived a prince named Alexander who had a problem that most people would find ridiculous. He needed to find a wife, but not just any wife. He needed to find a real princess. Now, you might be thinking, what does it even mean to be a real princess? That's exactly what Prince Alexander wondered every single day. His mother, the Queen, had very specific ideas about what made someone truly royal. A real princess, she would say with absolute certainty,
possesses a sensitivity so refined, so delicate, that she can feel things others cannot.
It's in her very nature, her essence, her blood.
Prince Alexander thought this sounded like complete nonsense, but his mother was the Queen, and when the Queen speaks, people listen. So he traveled the world, meeting princess after princess after princess. He met Princess Arabella, who could recite poetry in 7 languages.
My spirit soars where velvet.
He met Princess Cordelia, who could fence better than his best knights. He met Princess Beatrice, who ran an entire charity organization helping the poor. Each one was accomplished, intelligent, and kind. Each one would have made an excellent partner, but his mother dismissed them all with a wave of her hand.
Not real princesses, I can tell.
After 2 years of searching, Prince Alexander returned home exhausted, frustrated, and convinced he'd never marry.
I don't understand this at all. Why is this happening to me? This is impossible.
Mother, perhaps we should reconsider what truly matters in a partner.
Intelligence, kindness, courage. These things seem far more important than some mystical quality you insist real princesses possess.
The Queen simply smiled that knowing smile that drove him absolutely mad.
You'll understand when you meet her, dear. A real princess is unmistakable.
That very night, a terrible storm rolled in from the sea. Thunder shook the castle walls, lightning split the sky, and rain fell in sheets so thick you couldn't see 3 feet in front of your face. The royal family was just preparing for bed when there came a desperate knocking at the castle gates. The guards opened the gates to find a young woman standing in the downpour, soaked to the bone, her hair plastered to her face. Her dress torn and muddy. She looked like she'd been through a war.
Please, I need shelter for the night. My carriage broke down miles from here, and I've been walking through this storm for hours.
And who might you be? Asked the head guard suspiciously. The young woman lifted her chin with a dignity that somehow remained intact despite her bedraggled appearance.
My name is Elise, and I am a princess from the kingdom of Northvale.
The guards exchanged skeptical glances. This mud-covered, rain-soaked girl was a princess. Unlikely. But they couldn't turn away someone in need on such a terrible night, so they brought her inside. The Queen came down to investigate the commotion and found Elise standing in the entrance hall, dripping water onto the marble floors and trying very hard not to shiver. The Queen looked her up and down with those sharp, calculating eyes.
You claim to be a princess?
I am a princess, Your Majesty.
Elise replied firmly, meeting the Queen's gaze without flinching.
We shall see about that,
the Queen said with a mysterious smile.
We'll provide you with shelter for the night, and in the morning we can verify your story.
She ordered the servants to prepare the finest guest room for their unexpected visitor, but she gave them very specific, very strange instructions. First, they were to place a single dried pea on the bed frame. Then they were to pile 20 mattresses on top of that pea, and finally, they were to add 20 feather quilts on top of the mattresses. The result was a bed so tall that they had to bring in a ladder for Elise to climb up to it. Prince Alexander, watching these preparations, thought his mother had finally lost her mind.
Mother, what are you doing? That poor girl is exhausted and freezing and you're playing bizarre games?
Not games, dear, a test. A real princess has such delicate sensitivity that she would feel even a single pea through 20 mattresses and 20 quilts. If she's truly royal, she won't sleep a wink tonight.
Alexander wanted to argue, but he was too tired. He went to bed thinking about the brave, dignified young woman who'd walked through a storm and still held her head high, and he found himself hoping, against all logic, that his mother's ridiculous test would somehow prove what he already suspected, that there was something special about Elise. The next morning, the royal family gathered for breakfast, and Elise was invited to join them. She came down looking absolutely terrible. Her eyes were red and puffy, dark circles shadowed her face, and she moved like every muscle in her body ached.
Good morning, my dear. I trust you slept well?
The queen said with deceptive sweetness. Elise tried to smile politely, but it came out more like a grimace.
I'm terribly sorry, Your Highness, and I hope I don't sound ungrateful because the room was beautiful and everyone has been so kind. But I have to be honest, I barely slept at all. There was something hard in the bed, something small but uncomfortable, and I tossed and turned all night. I'm covered in bruises this morning. I feel awful complaining when you've shown me such hospitality, but I've never had such an uncomfortable night in my entire life.
The queen's face broke into the widest, most genuine smile Prince Alexander had ever seen.
My dear girl, only a real princess could be so sensitive. Only someone of true royal blood could feel a single pea through 20 mattresses and 20 feather quilts.
Prince Alexander stared at Elise in amazement. She'd actually felt it. His mother's absurd test had actually worked. But as he looked at Elise, bruised and exhausted, he realized something important. It wasn't the test that mattered. What mattered was that she'd faced a terrible storm with courage, that she'd maintained her dignity even in the worst circumstances, that she'd been honest even when it might have seemed like complaining. Those were the qualities of someone truly special.
Princess Elise, I apologize for my mother's unconventional hospitality.
Would you allow me to make it up to you? Perhaps when you've recovered from your ordeal, you might join me for a tour of the kingdom.
Elise looked at him, really looked at him, and saw past the title to the kind, frustrated man who'd also been searching for something real.
I'd like that very much, Prince Alexander.
And so began a courtship built not on silly tests or mystical qualities, but on genuine connection, shared values, and mutual respect. They discovered they both loved books.
The enchanted forest wasn't empty after all. A majestic griffin stood before her.
Hated formal dinners.
I'm with you.
And believed that royalty meant service to others rather than privilege. 6 months later, they married in a celebration that the kingdom would talk about for generations. The pea that had tested Elise's sensitivity was placed in the Royal Museum, where it sat in a glass case as a reminder of the night a real princess proved herself. But if you asked Prince Alexander what really proved Elise was special, he'd tell you it had nothing to do with feeling a pea through mattresses. It was her courage, her honesty, her strength, and her heart. As for the queen, she never admitted that maybe, just maybe, she'd gotten lucky with her ridiculous test. But sometimes, late at night, she'd look at her son and daughter-in-law laughing together and smile, knowing that whether by magic or chance or pure coincidence, the right person had found her way to their door on that stormy night.
And you, my prince, are more handsome than ever.
I cherish every moment with you.
And they all lived happily ever after. Though Elise always insisted on checking her mattresses before bed, just in case. If this story reminded you that true worth comes from character, hit like and comment on the quality that makes someone special. Don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell for more magical tales. Thanks for watching. Remember, kindness and courage will take you far. See you next time.